I'm Jake the Steak Roberts. You're watching Comics Remixed.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4, season 2, Comics Remixed. I'm still me, he's still him.
Soy yo.
He's him.
Siempre.
Yes, always. Coming to you from where the place we
No, this is not the place where we fuck. No, I insinuated. We don't actually do it. This is a comic book shop where it just happens to be 3 dudes and a camera. No funny business. All right.
Always on Comics Remixed. So
Always.
Anyways, how you doing today, Dave?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing, Junior?
I'm alright. Let's get this episode rolling.
Scott Snyder, the man.
Why do
DC.
you always say Snyder?
You know what? I think it's the Mexican in me. We're just more passionate by our S's.
I guess every S
Sanchez.
is followed by a H with you.
Do you remember when I was actually learning how to read in
So
grade school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just get right into it today. Breaking the fourth wall.
Hulk smash!
Alright, breaking the fourth wall. We've got today a retrospect of sorts. Scott Snyder.
Yeah.
Say it with me.
Snyder.
Snyder.
Wait, hold on. For the longest, and I still do, I say Dark Side. I was trying to catch myself. I say Dark Side. It's Dark Side. But
There's still people
okay,
out-
no, you can't catch yourself saying Star Trek.
What do you
You
mean?
say you give the
Me personally?
Yeah, you say Star Trek. Almost it sounds like you're saying Trek instead of Trek. You did it a lot at Dave Chamelli's, and I counted it down.
I like how you Chamelli, you love his last name.
Chamelli, yeah.
This is the episode. No, I see what you mean. I do catch myself though. I always say Star Trek. I never say
Alright.
Star Trek.
So stop giving me crap. No, it's not.
What are you doing?
Dude,
Don't touch
you
me.
practically
No.
propositioned
Why
me
are
at
you-
the beginning of the show, and now I can't touch you?
No.
All right.
I'm off limits, baby.
That's what you say right now, bitch. Anyway.
So Scott Snyder.
He's the
Go
man,
ahead,
he's the man of
man.
DC.
Yeah, right
All
now he is the man.
He's pretty much taken over where you would say Jeff Loeb kind of left off. Would you say that?
not even in the same league.
'Cause what was the last
The
thing Jeff
top
Loeb wrote for
guy
DC?
that right now, in my opinion, top writer at DC, and I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there who are going to agree with me. Top writer for DC is Jeff Johns, hands down.
I would say Jeff Winnick.
Jeff Johns,
All right.
hands down, dude. If remember the top 100 list or whatever by that one magazine that we're not going to mention.
Yeah.
Remember who number 1 was?
Actually, I don't.
Jim Lee.
Oh, that's right. The argument. Oh my God. You know why? He never replied to us.
Yes, he
We
did.
just had that conversation.
we had that conversation last night.
He replied to the video.
Right.
Then I rebutted him
Your 18 chapter rebuttal.
my too gigantic, my essay replied to him, but then he never replied.
Right,
And we
right.
even talked about this last night. So the fact that I forgot it means that, you know,
There you go.
the whole thing was bullcrap.
But why I bring that list up is because Jeff Johns was in the top 5 for that same. Picture Jeff Johns in the same role as Jim Lee, kind of
Okay.
where in terms of he's up there with the company. He's not just the writer. He does all these other things. He wears a lot of hats. So Jeff Johns is the head writer. Jeff Johns is what Brian Bendis is currently to Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's been on the DC coattails like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I give you that, yeah.
Scott Snyder is the up and coming. In my eyes, he is what Jeff Johns was at the beginning of Jeff Johns' career. Here's that guy that's coming up and he's sparking new life into a property that has a big fan base, but with every day that goes by and every issue that's released, it's just more and more and more, and his name is just getting bigger and bigger by the moment.
And I give the guy props because, as you know, in our early episodes, I completely swore off the top 2, DC and Marvel. But I held down to Swamp Thing.
Right.
And,
What part of him?
well, oh, you're just
I got you.
on the cock jokes, man.
On the cock.
And great story.
Mhm.
I mean, what he did with the Swamp Thing mythos,
Yeah.
just totally blew me away. Granted, it was
This
kind of.
episode is just full of innuendo.
Damn it, man! We're just not gonna get through this episode without a boner, right? Yeah. Huh? Okay.
Wow. Just wow.
Thick jokes aside, if he
To
could
the left?
if he could explore, damn, the next word I want to use, I can't even use it anymore.
Yo, man.
This is over. If you could explore the Swamp Thing mythos, or I mean the Superman mythos as deeply as he went into Swamp Thing, and I even bought some Bat books to really get familiar with what he's doing.
David bought comics.
I bought a Batman book, not a Nightwing book. I bought a Batman book.
The fact that you bought a comic. Wow. Not calling you a cheapskate or nothing. Let me back up when I say I'm surprised by David buying a comic. David doesn't buy comics anymore. David hasn't bought a comic in ages.
I mooch. What the hell?
I turned him off to my collection. He's not allowed to touch my collection.
No, I can touch this stuff.
He doesn't know how to treat my collection. He just I'm anal about it. So anyway, yeah. Here we go. But I'm dumb.
So yeah, I bought a Batman book, and I even picked up, which I don't mind saying because it's a Vertigo book, The Wake.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy really knows how to bring in a plot.
Okay. See, now you got one up on me. I purchased The Wake earlier this week, but I have just not have a moment to sit down and read it.
Dude, Star Trek, and I read a comic book before you.
Oh God, this guy.
What the hell is going on? What's happening here?
He's a bad friend. He is a very bad friend. This motherfucker turned Star Trek into a date movie with his girl. First of all, I get it. I totally do. But for him to go on his own and watch Star Trek,
okay.
For Shmeli to go on his own and watch Star Trek, for everybody, for fucking Carrie to go on his own, the bastard called me. He's like, "What are you doing, boss?" I'm at the shop. "Oh, swing by after the movie I'm waiting in line for." "What are you waiting for?" "I'm gonna watch Star Trek." So fuck you, Carrie.
Look, I'm actually glad he brought up Carrie, Shmeli, all these other guys, because I was gonna throw him under the bus. So it saves me that. I saved face on that one.
No, you don't have to throw him under the bus. I did.
Look, it was just the other night. Dave Shmeli pretty much said he was going to go watch Superman with his wife, right?
Yeah, we took care of that.
If we hadn't put him on a spot,
yeah.
But you know what? These freaking movies, man.
We're not talking about the movies though. We're talking about Snyder.
Well, Superman's coming up,
okay.
and so I'm just let me just
All right,
make
your point.
Make quick point.
Make your point.
These movies are becoming so dolled up that it is taking the guy night away, and they are going into like date movies. Because it's like all the depth of the character, you know, like he's something's wrong with him, but he's got a heart of gold, you know, and it's all to bring in that other demographic, and it kind of does suck, man. Okay.
What the hell does that have to do with Scott Snyder?
It probably means that I probably would have watched Superman without you too.
I still don't get what that has to do with
Nothing, man, nothing. All right,
we're talking about Scott Snyder here.
Nothing to do. Anyways, I'm just saying the guy, he could write a plot.
Jeez, this guy.
I'm making up excuses for myself, and I dug myself into a hole. Okay.
Well, if you gotta connect the two, Superman Unchained bows out in 2 weeks, the same week that the Man of Steel movie comes out. Like you were saying, you know, as you said, you read The Wake, and Scott Snyder obviously can write a plot, which we all know. Scott Snyder's name first became synonymous with DC when he worked on his run in Detective Comics right before the New 52 relaunch. He did a storyline called The Black Mirror, very dark. It was kind of a whodunit. It was very good. So if you guys did check out The Black Mirror, go pick that up. If you're a Scott Snyder Batman fan, you'll like it. It's kind of like a prelude to his writing in his current Batman storyline, which was, you know, he did the Court of Owls, the Night of Owls, which while I was reading it was just like, wow, this is pretty damn good. And it was the book that I had to read as soon as it came out. Kind of lost me a bit, and you know, you fanboys hate me if you want. I don't care. This show is about keeping it real, so I'm gonna keep it real. The Death of the Family storyline,
The Ultimate Cop-Out.
The Ultimate Cop-Out. It was a great storyline, huge build-up, huge momentum. The ending sucked balls, and ever since then, it's just kind of waned on me a little bit. Another problem that I had, not just with the end, but every writer, and I would assume if you got a chance to write Batman, or if I got a chance to write Batman, or anyone else, obviously probably the Joker is the #1 villain you'd probably want to throw in the story. So you would always want to put your stamp on the character. And I chalk it up to that's what he was doing with the Joker. But as I read the book, it just did not feel like the Joker to me. It didn't feel like he was writing the Joker. Right. He felt like he was just writing a maniacal character that happened to be named Joker. But it wasn't the Joker. It just didn't have that essence to it.
He was probably just enamored more with Batman, and Joker was just like a second tier thing to throw in there. He was just something to throw in the mix.
I don't know. I just feel that I don't know what it was. But ever since then, since the last issue was 17, issue 18 was the Requiem, where they look back at the death of Damien, which was another cop out. Yeah. It was the storyline was called The Death of the Family, and now you sit back and look at it as more of a metaphor.
Which, if you listen to our Spinner Rack episode, what was number 5? We talk about Damian Wayne's death.
Sure.
You talk about our better ending instead of having the brute kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. His current story arc is a story with Clayface, but he's gearing up for Year Zero, which is a retelling of the Batman origin with a twist and his little stamp on it. So a lot of fans, a lot of customers, I'm hearing a lot of positive about it. A lot of people
He killed his parents to become Batman.
Who knows?
That makes more sense.
Looking forward to it, So with Scott Snyder's track record on Batman, I'm not going to say I'm not looking forward to it. But, it's not one that I'm anxiously biting my nails for. One that I am biting my nails for to finally read is The Wake.
Okay. Which was good. It was good.
I'll take your word for it. Scott Snyder's a great writer, but you can't just give him all the credit. You've got to give credit where credit's due to the artist of that book.
The artist from
Sean Murphy.
Punk Jesus. What was it called?
Punk Rock Jesus.
Punk Rock Jesus. Damn, thank you.
Punk Rock Jesus, which was written and illustrated by Sean Murphy. Great black and white book. Did you read it yet?
No.
You've got to pick it up.
What happened was I tied in 2 different ideas, because if you watch The Wake, in the beginning of it, it has some steampunkish...
Watch The Wake or read it?
Read it. It has a very steampunkish type of feel, like, because there's a dolphin involved. You think, oh, this is fucking Johnny Mnemonic. Someone made it into a comic book. But actually, it takes a pretty good turn after that.
Well, read Punk Rock. Read Punk Rock Jesus by Sean Murphy. It was good. But so, Sean Murphy coming off of Punk Rock Jesus and that, the steam he's got coming off of that, mixed with one of the hottest writers pretty much in the business right now, it's almost a win-win situation,
We'll see when you brought up Death in the Family, and
Death of
the family, and since I've been digging into more about how Scott Snyder approaches a character with Scott Snyder with Batman, reading The Wake from Vertigo, and then of course Swamp Thing, my guy. Mm-hmm. I really just had to wrap it all into conspiracy theory, the blame has to go to editing, right to the editor. When I
do explain.
Yeah, I was rapping. I had this whole. I had this whole X-Files conspiracy theory going on, like how it gets to this point where the writer has this great build up.
You hear that? Okay, continue.
Where the artist has this great build up, and he gets to this great point, and then some editor comes down with a note from marketing or something, and be like, "Okay, dude, you cannot cut the Batman's face off. I'm sorry, you cannot do that." And it becomes a cop-out. Because then you have all the complaints that Rob Liefeld had about the editing, about DC editing.
Again with the name. This is how we starting out the second season?
Oh, crap, with Rob Liefeld. Yeah, I guess so.
Technically not starting out the season, but go ahead.
No, where is the blame actually to put? I mean, is it really the writer, trying to give us a good read, and then all of a sudden editing just kind of slapping their hand off to the side, like, no, stop it,
don't do that. I don't know. I don't work for DC, but I can see your point. There's been a lot of complaints.
Of course, you don't work for DC.
A lot of complaints, obviously, have been coming down on social media in the pipeline, and you read the stories online. A lot of creators constantly switching books due to editors they don't want to work with, and just people being fired, people quitting. The latest Andy Diggle.
What happened with that?
Action Comics. They put him on Action Comics after Grant Morrison. And there was something he wanted to do, and DC's just like, no, and he got into it with editors, and he left right before 19 even came out.
Oh, then like the rotating cast on Green Lantern?
I don't know.
Switching those guys up?
Well, they're all leaving, yeah. All the Green Lantern teams are leaving.
Man, what a put down. Huh?
But I would say the one book coming out that I'm actually anxious for, Superman Unchained. Not so much for by art by Jim Lee, written by Scott Snyder, and you know that shows a lot from DC to put this up and coming writer on your two biggest franchises. He's on the main Batman book and he's going on a Superman book with the co-publisher of the company.
But it's kind of like that's how it should be, isn't it? Those are your flagships.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like it shows you how much faith they have in him by giving him this responsibility, if you will, by steering the boats to these two big guys. You know, I don't know if it's just all the Superman buzz in the air that has me anxious for it, or what. You know, it's what Jim Lee, as far as his pencils go, has been the one artist, in my opinion, who's remained consistent since the '90s. Mm-hmm. His pencils have almost don't even look like they've been tweaked. His style. You know, I did a review earlier for Justice League of America #4, and I pointed out that David Finch's pencils changed. They are not as crisp as they used to be. And David Finch hasn't been in the game nowhere near as long as Lee or Silvestri or any of the other guys.
It's a lot more fluid, though.
Yeah.
Because Jim got his start. He was very familiar with anatomy, too, but he also referenced like a lot of weightlifting magazines. Mm-hmm. And you could see the change. Like, if you look at your old X-Men comic books, and you see how they're almost kind of like, oh, yeah, with that, how posed and how statuesque things are. And you could look at the Superman Unchained poster that you have right there on your door, and you see a lot more movement and a lot more expression. Mm-hmm. You know.
But I just mean as far as his actual look, like the style to it. Like as far, like we'll take Silvestri as an example. Remember?
What sold us when we were kids, like you know.
Right. Like, you know, but now you look at it and it's just like it looks like they got lazy. Yeah. Some of these guys, you know what I mean? That like in terms of their style changing. You know, like oh the money's here, let me just lean back. You know, my name alone will sell the book. Yeah. I don't have to work. But that's just my opinion.
Silvestri, just dig out some guy from.
Don't get me wrong, Silvestri, I love you. You're a nice guy and you're tall as shit.
Don't backpedal. It's too late.
No, I'm not.
It's too late.
I'm not. It's just, you know, hey, I tell the truth. You know, he's a nice guy. I just think he got lazy. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not backpedaling. Trying to put me in a spot, man.
You said he's a nice guy, but you're lazy.
Right. You could be a nice guy and be lazy. What's wrong with that? I know plenty of nice people, but they're lazy. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, hey man.
They're a nice guy. You could be a nice guy and lay on your couch all day. You're lazy, but you're still a nice guy.
Dude, that's like, you know what? You sounded so Puerto Rican right there. Like your insult. That somehow, I don't know how many of you guys.
He's not being racist, by the way. I am Puerto Rican.
It's not like if you grow up with like a Hispanic dad, but especially like a Puerto Rican dad, like that is such like a weird oxymoron.
No, it's not.
Type of thing. It's like. Why don't you just say...
Being lazy is one thing. Being lazy is just mean you're not doing anything. But being nice would describe your personality.
Both of those are reflective of a person that cannot accomplish anything.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
If you gave me a week off with no responsibilities whatsoever, you know, no girlfriend, no child, no work, no bills, no nothing, I'm going to lay in bed and watch movies all week. I'm going to be lazy as hell. But does that change me from being a nice guy?
You're also not going to accomplish anything.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about from being lazy to being a nice guy.
See, look, now we're going
So if I'm laying in bed watching TV, it makes me lazy, but does that make me any less of a nice guy?
See, that's not what I'm attacking. No, because that's not what I'm attacking. I'm attacking the fact that you're describing a character that will not accomplish anything. Just tell him.
I'm talking about Silvestri. He's not a character. He's a person.
Well, then you might as well tell him, Silvestri, you're just not going to go anywhere anymore.
So you said over. That. I didn't say that. You said that. I said he's lazy. That doesn't mean anything. He could just be like, these guys are inspirational to me. I'm going to bring back my old style.
But that's why yours was more of a cop-out.
It wasn't a Carrie, was it a cop-out? Moving on.
There you go.
Moving on. So Superman Unchained will be in stores June 12th. So make sure you get to your local comic book shop and pick that up because it's going to be good.
All right.
Well, for breaking the fourth wall, it was our Scott Snyder intro. What was it? Retrospective. Right? Retrospective?
Retrospect, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that. I got a lot on my mind. But coming up next on our Spotlight segment, you guys remember him as carrying around something that struck fear into so many people. And no, I'm not talking about what's in your pants, David.
A rare and exclusive look.
Jake the Snake Roberts on camera. It's been a long time since he's been on camera, and Comics Remix happened to do it. So,
enjoy.
Wait. Parental advisory.
Oh yeah,
Parental
he talks a
advisory.
lot of shit. Not that we just didn't talk a lot of shit for like 20 minutes, but this guy really, really. Off the
He's
ball.
Jake the Snake. If any of you guys have seen Beyond the Mat, you kind of get an idea of. So, watch the clip, enjoy it. We'll be back. What's up, guys? Junior with Comics Remixed, special episode of the Spotlight. I am here with,
Charles Benson.
yes, the one and only Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, how you doing today?
I like a sore one, you can't beat it.
How's the convention going for you, man?
Awesome, man.
Awesome, loving
Just
it.
meet a lot of fans, man. Selling a lot of shit.
This is your first con?
Yes. Don't hurt me. Remember, to know me is to blow me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you know me?
No, I don't know you.
Oh,
I
you
know.
said-
I just know. I've heard.
He sucks.
We can edit that out.
No,
No.
we can't. Don't need to.
So anyway, Jake, let's talk about your career, man. Your favorite match of all time. I know you get asked these questions a lot,
Too many,
but
man.
I mean,
Too many.
too many.
I can have some that weren't my favorites.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Wrestling Andre one time in Montreal. It was his birthday. He'd had a few too many gallons of wine.
Yeah.
And he knocked me on my ass, and I was on my side, and he said something. And then my shoulder started vibrating. This, what the fuck is that? And he starts laughing. Well, the referee walks over and says, "Why are you laughing?" He goes, "I'm farting." No shit, he was.
Oh wow.
So it's like, I'm like, oh my God, fuck. I can't get up. 550 pounds on me. So the referee walks off. He comes back like 30 seconds later. He goes, "Now why are you laughing?" He goes, "I'm still farting." Giants fart for an extremely long time. Now, that's not the worst news. The worst news is, I guess it's from all the wine. I had like a permanent birthmark for like 6 months, man. The wine stain. It sucked. That wasn't one of my favorite matches. You know, I
Wow.
started to get up and just, no, I wasn't.
Just go with the flow.
I had to.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about a memory that really stands out to me. It's you and Macho Man, the snake bite on the arm.
Don't talk about that, I get wood.
All right, well, you can talk about it then. I won't talk about it.
I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I get excited when I think about that. It was a hell of a moment in my career. I mean, I closed my eyes. Damn, I better not. It excites me.
No.
Yeah, sorry about your eye. It's glazed over.
Yeah, that shit happens. Wow. So, I mean, it was, how pre-scripted was? I mean, did you guys know that was really going to happen?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
How do you practice something like that?
Well, that's stupid. Yeah. Jake, I don't trust anybody here anymore. So, we're gonna have to let the snake bite you first.
What the?
What? He thought he still had venom. Come on, Mach. Somebody else might have screwed you like that, but I didn't have to.
And you really traveled with the snake, right?
Yeah,
How was that?
sucked.
Yeah.
Bro,
I mean,
let me ask you this.
all right.
Let's say you had a few too many cocktails, and it's 4 a.m., you stumble into your bathroom, and there's 120 pounds of python laying wrapped around the toilet.
I'd shit myself.
Do you really want to hang it out?
I had shit myself.
Do you really want to sit out?
No, hell no.
Do you really want to wake up the next morning, the son of a bitch has broke the toilet off the floor and water's going everywhere? Do you really want to? I mean, here's the thing used to give me. You know that sign they have? Do not disturb. What does that mean? It means nothing to the goddamn maids, because they'll still come in. Come to my room, bitch. You'll leave soon. I had some shoot out of the room, man. I was so lucky. Thank you, Lord. It was the 3rd floor. And they put the maid cart in front of the door. If not, because they were running out backwards.
Wow.
They would have went right over the side.
Holy shit.
That would have been cool.
It would have been. How was it working with The Undertaker? That's another segment that really stands out.
Easy.
When I was watching you on TV, I was still growing up.
So it was just like you were there sometimes, you weren't there, it was back and forth.
Come over here. You're fucking up the camera shot.
It happens.
Sorry, he's a rookie.
Yeah, you know.
To know me is to blow me. And he sucks. Undertaker was great, man. You know, he listened. He was still young then, and I was his teacher. So. Fond memories, man.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them. But you know what? I'm not through yet. Because I'll see you guys next year at the Royal Rumble. They just don't know it yet.
Running through the crowd. And...
My question is this. They couldn't control me when I was effed up. What are you going to do now? You haven't got a chance.
That's a good question. Really
Goodbye.
good question.
I'm done.
That was Jake the Snake Roberts.
You're welcome, people.
We warned you, but I want to point out, I think it was really cool. Now, I guess I pointed out last episode. I'm a big wrestling guy, obviously. I pay attention to a lot of the threads and message boards and stuff, and I had heard nothing of Jake prior to our interview with him saying that he was going to try to be into the 2014 Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. And he announced it on our show first. Unfortunately, we just got the footage up, so we didn't get the scoop, so to speak, but who cares? I know.
I hope we could get Scott Hall, too.
Dude, that would be fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, what DDP is doing, man. God bless that guy. You know,
DDP Yoga.
DDP Yoga.
But,
what's that? Stretching.
What are you doing?
Stretching yoga. No? No, sorry. I bet.
Jake, though, honestly, was a great guy. A lot of informative stuff over, while the camera was off. A lot of informative stuff. It was pretty cool because it cost us a cigarette to get this interview with him.
But that's how laid back the guy was. That's how real he was.
Actually, it turned into what it was. Is I approached him Friday about the interview, and he says I'm not gonna try to even impersonate his voice, but he told me, he says, look, I need a smoke. You can find me an exit where I can go out and have a quick smoke. I'll give you your interview. Not those exact words. I did my hardest. The only place I found was like way around the building. Kind of pissed him off. So I told him, look, I will bring you a cigarette instead, and then I'll walk. He's like, you know what? Well, you can go out there with me while I smoke, and we can do the interview out there. So cool. So Saturday morning came, like a dumbass, I forgot to buy a pack of squares. I was hunting the convention floor I was making judgment calls. I was like, that guy looks like he smokes. That chick looks like she smokes.
You started profiling.
I was profiling, man. Finally, I get a text from one of my buddies, Mike Green, who was just like, dude, we're here. Where you guys at? And I remembered Mike Green was a smoker. So I was like, Mike, dude, please tell me you got a cigarette. He says, I got a cigarette. He says, you saved my life. I'll meet you in Artist Alley. Got the square, took it to Jake. Jake's like, I'll be right back. He closed up shop. He had like 4 people in front of him. Took care of them all at once. He's just like, what do you guys want? Autographs? Here's, bam. All right, gotta go. Looked at DDP.
So basically, thanks to Mike Green.
Yeah, Mike Green, yeah. Thank you for coming through.
You were the day, man.
So Jake's like, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. He went outside, came right back in. And I'm thinking we're going to go outside while he smokes and film this interview. He's just like, no, I just went outside and had a quick smoke. It's like that fast. The guy had just one big hit. That's what I could think of, you know. But regardless, it was still awesome hanging with him. Especially, I know John really enjoyed that. It was just a good experience. You know, Jake's a really cool guy. You know, we grew up watching him.
Yeah.
So to actually meet the guys you grew up watching and idolizing in some form.
Look, I thought the guy was dead. For the longest.
Wow.
He was completely off the radar.
Wow.
He was completely off the radar.
Well, see, you're not into wrestling anymore, so you don't keep up with the wrestling world anyway.
Nah.
So, I could see that.
I'm sorry, I'm not into wrestling.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not. But, from wrestling, we're going to shift gears
To the movie.
To the movies. Coming up in our movies remix segment,
Transformers 4, people.
Transformers.
The hype has started.
It started. It will be here very, very soon. Join us now as we move on to movies remixed.
No panning. Junior was actually walking backwards.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was transforming. Because that's what this segment is. Movies remixed. I have not been online. I haven't heard any or I've read threads, obviously, but nothing big. Nobody's really reported anything yet, as aside from, or nobody's talked about it.
It's all imagery right now.
It's all imagery.
It's all imagery.
We're going to be the first, to my knowledge, to talk about Transformers 4.
Okay.
Coming June 27th, 2014, 2014, however the hell you pronounce your years. David, what do you think so far? Do we need a Transformers 4?
I think my body language could pretty much say that. I actually, you know, until it was brought up when we started talking about it, I wasn't even thinking about it.
Okay.
I wasn't. You know what? It also might be too because right now we're surrounded by so many blockbusters that I'm completely overwhelmed by comic book stuff right now.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure though, as soon as this movie rolls around, I'm gonna be like, oh, motherfucking trucks, y'all! Motherfucking trucks and jet planes, and because that's what always happens.
Right.
We dogged
You
the
get caught
crap.
up into the hype of it.
We dogged the crap out of T2. Well, we still ended up seeing Transformers 3.
I was gonna watch them anyway. I'm one of the ones that I enjoyed Transformers 2. Like I said, my problem with it, Devastator did not devastate. He was a fucking gorilla.
No. Okay, as I recall,
That was my problem with it.
As I recall, we both exited the movie. We're walking to the middle. Your head was down too. I saw it.
I was disappointed
I used the
at first.
peripherals. No, it wasn't disappointment. There was this thing. You walked up, and we both just kind of reached that meeting area, just the walking area, and we're both just standing there, kind of waiting for us to just like end up in the same spot, and we're both just like this, like, did you think that was a good movie? That was your exact words.
Because I wasn't sure what to think about
and
it.
then and then we went over. We
But
kept
that's with any
walking.
movie I watch
There's
first.
there's this part
okay.
where you could like lean over the ledge and kind of look down.
I
and, like,
do remember
it's
that.
almost
We
like
were looking at
it's almost like
everybody.
we're gathering a perspective, and this movie is just kind of sinking into us, and we're both just sitting there, and we're like, I don't think that was a good movie. But it was like we were wrestling with the fact that it just wasn't a good movie.
You know, but in retrospect, when you get time to sit back, and my opinion will probably change for Iron Man 3 once I watch it again. You know, it's always that first. Shut up.
You shouldn't
It's
have
always
to
that
watch
first-
it again.
But it's always that first time. It's like my episode, like when I watch Toy Hunter, I have to watch it twice. The first time, it's always just like a quick run through. The second time is always like, okay, I kind of know what I'm expecting. Let me really watch it, you know? Because I think the first time when you watch something, you're so excited that you're watching it, you tend to overlook things. You tend to miss things. Perfect example, Dark Knight Rises. There was things, the first time I saw it, I was like, eh. Then I saw it again after hearing certain fans say, oh, this was mentioned, or that was mentioned, or did you notice this? When you go back and you watch it again, you get a different tone from it.
Okay, but all that stripped away before all these things come in and they corrupt whatever idea you already had about the movie. You go in there, it's not a tough sell. You're excited because you're showing up to be entertained.
True.
You're showing up that you're buying the $10 popcorn because
By nacho.
you're just so nerded out by the fact,
All right.
oh, Transformers are happening. There's no sell. You're there to be entertained. That
Okay,
is-
so
that
answer
is-
my earlier question. Do you think we need a Transformers 4?
You know, fuck it, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah?
Oh no. You know what? You know why? Because it's one of those universes where it could just be a story about something else. Why does it have to be about the same crew? Which, based on the images, there's only like Optimus and Bumblebee are like the same guys coming back.
And so far, same Autobots at least.
Um,
None of the Decepticons have been revealed yet. The entire human cast has been replaced.
My issue with it is that in every movie they've just kind of found a way to bring back Megatron,
Mhm.
which I get it. That's kind of like his shtick. Like you can't really kill him, but it's the good thing about Transformers 3 was the twist.
Right,
The good guy's actually the bad guy.
right.
If they're just gonna just keep regurgitating the same whole like
See,
movie
but that's the way we grew
with
up.
another twist. Okay, yeah, but this isn't the
Well,
90s.
right.
This isn't freaking Korea where you like got like a studio full of like Asian guys that you picked up off the street.
You're just
and
really
you taught them how to,
stereotypical
no, this
today,
this
aren't
is
you?
how these cartoons were made. This is how these cartoons were made. They were probably hand drawn by 9-year-old children. Okay.
Wow, some talented
All
9-year-old
right,
kids.
and that's why there was a formula. That's why it was a formula because this is like a factory cartoon. That's what it was.
Right.
All right. Whether the movies become that, I say just forget about it and dump it.
Okay.
Basically, if a 9-year-old Korean is gonna hand draw Transformers 4, no, we don't need it.
Okay.
All right. Damn it.
Well, what we know so far is it takes place, I believe, 4 to 5 years after Dark of the Moon. The entire human cast has been replaced. They've announced the lead actors. Names escape me at the moment. The only name that I remember is Mark Wahlberg, who will be in the movie. Now, Mark Wahlberg the main character turns out to be a race car driver. The story centers around
Fast and the Furious.
the story. Shut up. The story centers around. I don't know.
Right now.
Yeah, like Vin Diesel making a
You're
cameo.
thinking about it right now.
Optimus' chest or something.
We got to drift, Optimus.
There's an Autobot in the movie named Drift. Shut up.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, God. Nothing with you. There is the two main characters.
No. I'm sorry. That is kind of like that is a weird thing, isn't it? That is a weird thing. Like, are they banking off the whole Fast and the Furious?
Who knows?
Thing? Okay.
Who knows?
All right. I'm just throwing it in there.
Everybody loves fast cars. Transformers is a movie with fast cars. I mean, it makes sense. And sometimes they get furious. I had to say it. I'm sorry. Okay, so Mark Wahlberg, the main characters, the main character is a race car driver. His girlfriend, they're the two main characters, the main human characters. Mark Wahlberg is the girlfriend's father, from what I understand. No story details have been released yet. There's been some images released. As you can see, there's Optimus and Drift, and who they've recently announced as Hound, as well as Bumblebee going back to the old Camaro look.
A couple of interesting things that you already pointed out is the fact that they flipped the cast. I'm totally happy with that. It kind of
shows growth.
Well, it shows
so they're
freshness.
moving on. Yeah,
they
they're
are
moving
bringing
on.
something fresh, and the fact that Mark Wahlberg is playing a father, it's kind of like he's stepping up into the whole like I accepted it. I'm not the young guy anymore. So
Ted was like his last fun movie.
Like he's not ready to do the more like the lead dog type of role. You know, that's actually pretty cool.
So I don't know. I'm excited for it.
I think this is like depth for Mark Wahlberg.
And Ted wasn't.
I don't know. No, it was an episode of Family Guy
with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Okay. So Transformers 4. Obviously, David says he's excited, but as the time gets
can you see it?
Can you see it? As the time gets closer, like he said, he's going to be like, oh, robots and cars and boom and whatever.
Tokyo Drift. Optimus, jet planes are coming our way. You gotta drift to the expressway and dodge 5 other cars.
What if he falls over?
And you can't hurt any civilians. And then that's when you get the classic recycled Michael Bay shot of Optimus flipping over the cars.
As he's transforming.
He's CG'd the paint job, so it's upgraded now. And like he just copied the whole scene.
It's still a good scene.
Yeah, that he probably took from The Island or some other.
It is
movie.
what it is.
Like, it's one of the asteroids from Armageddon that was replaced with Optimus just rolling through the ground.
Why can't you just be excited for this movie?
Dude, because you know what? In the beginning, there's the fan casting stuff. There's there could be a lot of build up, and then you get crap. I'd rather see the casting. I want to see the casting. Yes, thank you.
No, I was sneezing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard something else. My bad, people. Miscommunication.
Anyhow.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
Yeah, I want to see what else they're gonna put into this.
I'm just excited for it. I really am. I just today realized I have the digital code for Dark of the Moon I never redeemed, so I got it on my phone now. So when I'm in the crap wreck and watch Dark of the Moon, alright, get it.
He's a bad word.
Transform now.
Yeah.
You know what though? Realistically,
Yeah.
Oh God.
Realistically,
I love doing this show.
I am excited, and I admit it already. Like when it comes around, 2 minutes into it, I'm gonna like
Total Geek Fest.
Yeah, that's why I don't really want to talk shit about it.
Right.
But it is kind of funny that if they kind of do a play on a Fast and the Furious, the government needs to solve like this big old like
illegal racing ring,
like car theft issue, and the only team that could solve it are the team of Transformers put together by Vin Diesel and The Rock. So
wow, you just man. See, now when I watch the movie, I'm gonna be looking for stuff like that. A year out from now,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, they pulled that from the movie.
Yeah.
Whatever though. I don't know if Optimus is gonna have the trailer in this movie. Who the hell knows? It hasn't been shown in the pictures. None of the Decepticons who have been named of who's gonna be in the movie. If you look at it, the third movie, they killed off a lot of the main characters that we all know. Megatron was killed. His head and spine detached.
Supposedly.
His head and spine were detached. They killed off Soundwave. They killed off Starscream. You know, Laserbeak is dead. It's just a lot of the main bad guys. So who does that? Shockwave was killed.
Yeah, that's the one that totally threw me off. The fact that Shockwave was like, just like, he wasn't even in the second tier. He was like, I guess, third tier. Like, he was down there. Like,
in the originals?
he was in charge of this
He was in-
part of the takeover.
In the
In
cartoon
the movie,
or in the movie?
in the movie.
Okay. Okay.
You know, like in the comics, like he's
Yeah,
kinda like,
he was downplayed in the movie a little bit.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
would have liked to have seen him saved for something like this.
Yeah, it would have been nice because I mean,
It would have been
For
a
those
good break from
don't
Megatron.
know Shockwave. He was who was left behind on to rule and look over Cyber. I shouldn't say rule, but look over Cybertron as Megatron took the war to Earth and they left Cybertron as they already ruled it. Shockwave was pretty much his Megatron's second in command until Earth. Obviously then Soundwave was promoted. I guess you're right. Love Soundwave. So Soundwave was his second in command,
And cassettes.
you know what? That varies. So some people say Soundwave was his second in command. Some people say it was Starscream. But Starscream was the treacherous one.
Yeah.
So who knows? All I know is Transformers 4. I'm very excited for it. I can't wait. It's just like a buffet of nerdism. Man of Steel coming up. Thor 2. The Wolverine. TMNT. Transformers 4. Avengers. What?
Pacific Rim.
Okay, yeah. Carries off camera says Pacific Rim.
Hey, that looks great, man.
I didn't see
And
the
if you're,
trailer.
and
I
if
don't
you're
know what the hell
familiar
you guys
with
are talking
Pacific
about.
Rim, I'm down for it. I like the way that this is coming out.
I'm like in the dark about this. I have to go watch the trailer, I suppose.
Suppose.
So, anyways, Transformers 4. After this, we hope you go back and you watch everything Transformers again. Dude, Unicron.
It's if they do it. See, that's just it. Now the thing about it, if they bring Unicron, then Galvatron's gonna be in it. Megatron's back, and they'll probably resurrect all the other guys.
They're the
that were
same
killed
person,
off.
right?
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
but I'm talking about the resurrection. Like it all kind of just comes back.
Well, that's how it happened.
Yeah, but that's why it would have been great if they just saved Shockwave to give it like that break.
Yeah. But there's still so many other Decepticons they can go with. Not really leader-wise, I see your point. Unless they pull out Scorponok.
Oh, maybe.
Well, no, they can't do it in the movie. Because Scorponok was in the movie as the little actual scorpion. Where in the actual story,
What
he
if
was
they
his own.
took this movie? What if they actually just took this movie out of Earth?
I could see that.
Had them bouncing around space. Like,
Dude, I remember before Dark of the Moon dropped, when they were in the stages that Transformers 4 is in. And I remember reading a script online. It was a leaked script, turned out not to be real. But that script was so badass. It's just like, I wish they'd turn that into the damn movie.
But see,
Buy that
even
script and
then,
do it.
how much are these images just teasers from the studio? And like all this could change.
No, right.
All this could change. They throw them out right now, so they're like, okay, what do the fans feel about a Bugatti?
Thanks to
Yeah,
Rick
that's
Ross,
what-
you
that's
got all
what
these
they do.
people like, oh, Bugatti's the new Ferrari, the new Maybach, or whatever. It's the new hot car to have.
No, I think if they could get away with it, they'd make them all green cars. One would be a Prius and like
Oh,
a
energy
Tesla.
efficient.
Yeah, have a Tesla car, but all the green cars are the bad guys. That would be a great sell for General Motors. Don't buy green because they're Decepticons.
Okay, I think with this comment, I see if that comment was so bad, man, I forgot the name of the fucking segment.
There you go.
For Movies Remixed, Transformers 4 coming up next. We're signing off.
Thank you for doing it.
See you back at the counter.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for our Transformers 4 segment over in Movies Remixed. As you guys have noticed, there will be no Paparella's Point this episode because John is graduating.
That's
So-
as much celebration as he gets. No balloons, no cake.
It's not in the budget. We're sorry, but John.
Well, John's really not in the budget. But congratulations.
No, in all seriousness, John. Hey, congratulations, dude.
Handshake. There you go.
You deserve it. Obviously, everybody kind of deserves to graduate, but it's a big deal for you. So it's all good, man. Much love.
It's deserved and not earned, according to Junior.
whatever. Anyway, so he'll be back next week.
On the way over there to here, you saw the trailer to Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah, between segments, I watched the trailer for Pacific Rim. Looks good. It's kind of like you said off camera. You were like, it's the way I feel about Pacific Rim is the way you feel about Transformers 4. But see,
It's
different.
hype. It's all hype, man.
Right, but the difference is right now with Pacific Rim, there's something there. It's tangible. There's a fucking trailer out. Whereas Transformers is a picture of a car.
No, my picture is Tokyo Drift meets
Oh,
Optimus
shut
Prime.
up.
That's my picture.
Shh. Vin Diesel.
yes.
Anyway. Thank you guys for watching us. You know, without you guys, the show wouldn't mean anything. It'd just be us talking to a camera and us watching it.
Hit us up all over the internet. We're on comicsremix.com. You can through there. You can get on the spinner rack. Get all of our podcasts. Brought to you by Brian Adams. Thank you very much, Brian. Co-hosted by Junior Reese. Often myself. It gets a little crazy when we all get involved. You get us on Twitter, Comics Remixed. You get me individually, David Sanchez are at Twitter. Junior, not set up on Twitter yet, but
no, and I'm not going to be.
Junior always has some amazing reviews on Blogspot. All right, Comics Remix at Blogspot, along with Paparella's Point, also on Blogspot. And this is us always talking crap for you at Comics Remix.
You can also catch those our blogs, not just on Blogspot, but you go to comicsremix.com and you just hit blogs, and it takes you right to it. Comicsremix.com is pretty much the hub for everything.
Yeah.
You can get to our episodes on there. You know, like you said, you can get to Twitter, you can get to our Facebook, our pictures.
If you like us on Facebook, you actually have a lot of exclusive reviews.
Yes, there's a lot of exclusive reviews only for Facebook.
And remember, it's an open forum, so feel free to throw your glove in the ring.
You can contact, if you listen to the Spinner Rack at thespinnerrack.podbean.com. You can also contact Brian Adams at thespinnerrack@ymail.com.
And why not? You know, call him. He's got a sexy man voice.
Brian would love some
Sexy
feedback,
man
people. Give Brian some
baby.
feedback. Hell, let us know you listen to the damn show. Even if you hate it, just let us know. So we know somebody's listening. You know? And we know at least who. I will say I'm glad to announce we are back on our weekly schedule. We're going to try to keep the ball rolling on that. Might have a hiccup or two in a couple of weeks, but it's worth it. So,
it's all for you. Thank you.
well, it's for us, but it's also for them.
No, just that one guy right there. Thank you.
Oh, for that guy?
No, the one right there watching us from home. I mean,
Oh.
I guess him too. Yeah.
But what if it's a girl watching us?
Hey, baby, it's for you. All right. Thank
Apparently
you very
I'm
much.
not
for
enough anymore.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, don't touch me. Get off.
Makeup sex is the best. It's on you right now. Thank you guys. Have a very good night.
Transformers!